Buffer's insisting to us that he is in his best shape in years as he attempts to erase the embarrassment of the marginal effort in April. The record 38 wins. The loss to Ramirez, hotly disputed, later avenged in a bout in which Pernell won all 12 rounds. And the draw, of course, was the bogus decision in the Chavez fight. And now let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official intros.
Ladies and gentlemen, Main Events Monitor with Cedric Kushner Productions in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present the main event of the evening, a rematch. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Welterweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Florida State Athletic Commission, Chairman Eric Riley, Vice Chairman Jack Gugino, Executive Director Mike Shanti. Physicians at ringside are Dr. Jose Rodriguez Acosta and Dr. Ramon Garcia Septien. The timekeeper is Sam Guralnik. The counting for the knockdown seconds is Tommy Kimmins. Representing the World Boxing Council is Gabriel Peña-Garicano and Anibal Mirimontes. The three judges at ringside scoring this bout on a 10-point must system are John Casis, John Keane, and Masahazu Uchida. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Frank Santori. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the James L. Knight Center here in Miami, Florida, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, in the red corner, wearing white and blue, and weighing 147 pounds. He brings an outstanding professional record of 23 victories with 14 knockouts, 1 defeat and 1 draw. Tonight, he is out to avenge that only loss. Here is the WBC #1 ranked welterweight in the world, Damas y Caballeros, con Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico, Wilfredo Rivera. And his opponent across the ring in the blue corner, wearing red trimmed with white. He also weighs 147 pounds. In 1984, he captured Olympic gold. And now, as a professional, he has 38 victories, 16 by knockout with only 1 loss and 1 draw, and 6 world title belts. He also has something to prove tonight, that he is still pound for pound one of the best in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from Norfolk, Virginia, presenting the former lightweight champion of the world, super welterweight champion of the world, junior middleweight champion of the world, and reigning WBC welterweight champion of the world, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
You're going to show this Arctusian bar like that. Come on.
Whitaker. All right, gentlemen, we've gone over everything in the dressing room. Just remind you, this is a legal blow here. All right, it's a legal blow.
Come on, tape right up to the top. Put the tape right up to the top.
All right.
Put it right up to the top, like this.
All right.
Right up to the top.
I'll take it out. We're done. All right. Questions here. Questions here. Good luck to both of you.
I want to see right up to the top.
Just take it.
Jim, every story has an ending. Is this the end for Pernell Whitaker or the start of a new chapter in his remarkable career?
And you heard Lou Duva complaining about the positioning of Rivera's trunks, and now Duva is the red shirt in Rivera's corner as he watches to make sure that referee Frank Santore administers the taping of the gloves in exactly the way he wanted. No, it wasn't the trunks, that was it. He wanted the tape to go all the way to the end of the gloves. George?
Which is what you're supposed to do. It starts at the bottom of the string and all the way up to the top. Duva is real clever. He's always finding something wrong with a trunk glove. You're fighting for your man, so you should be.
He loves to distract the opposing fighter. These two camps don't like each other. largely because of Duba's constant attention to these details. The rules meeting yesterday took, what, an hour and a half, Harold?
It went 1 hour and a half. I mean, it was havoc. They just couldn't agree on the officials, and that took up most of the time, but it took an hour and a half to get through the rules meeting. Way too long.
Some guys come for the money, and some actually work in your corner. They're real managers.
And finally, round one begins. You can see what a conventional stand-up fighter Rivera is. As he starts out, not really snapping the jab, just pushing it, and Pernell Whitaker begins with a left-hand lead. And another left-hand lead lands solidly. Rivera connected an elbow to the top of Whitaker's head, but Whitaker unfazed as he ducks under and hits Rivera with a solid left cross right on the butt.
This will be Whitaker's strategy. When you make him miss, make him pay so that you can make that tall fella stay away from you. Whitaker's intentions, not only to make him miss, but make him pay, which is a good strategy. He's not looking for a knockout. Whitaker will not try to put 3 punches together for a knockout.
All right, now let me correct my errant mouth on the big punch. Of course, it was a Whitaker left cross that landed solidly on Rivera's face. Everyone could see that. I just miscalled it.
Frank, step back. Don't grab behind your head. Step back. Step back. Box.
Frank Santori telling Whitaker not to grab behind Rivera's head. Pernell seemingly intent on making a power punching statement here in round one, and he did it.
He's trying to send a message. He doesn't want Rivera to come on to him in the early rounds as he did in the late rounds of the first fight.
Let it go.
And the message is well sent. But Rivera knows if he wants another parade at home, he's got to come on down in the first 3 rounds.
Interesting that Rivera starts out and stays in his conventional stance. In the first fight, he wasn't really effective until he went southpaw after the cut. We're wondering when and if he might go southpaw here.
Well, he went southpaw originally because he was cut on one side of the face. And if that cut doesn't reappear, he need not change so soon.
Step back. Take a step back. Box.
Solid left cross by Whitaker. This is simple stuff. He's setting it up with the jab and then firing the left and landing.
Whitaker's got Rivera playing his game now. 1 punch at a time. You needn't do that with Whitaker. You'll be behind on points.
Pernell able to duck away from most of Rivera's offerings there. Crowd gets excited at all the activity, but only Pernell Whitaker has landed meaningful punches in this round, and he punctuates it with 2 more. One with 5 seconds to go in the round, and the other one after the bell. And in Rivera's corner, our Spanish to English interpreter is Hector Garcia.
Breathe in through your nose and throw it out through your mouth. You hit him real good on the right below, right in the stomach. You're doing real good. Keep using your jab. Box and box.
There has always been a tough guy inside the boxer that Pernell Whitaker is. You saw it come out in the first round.
Rivera threw a lot of punches according to punch stat numbers in round one. 81 attempted punches, but he only landed 16. It was clearly Whitaker's round. He landed 20 of 57, and about a half dozen of them were hard left hands. Whitaker pounding the left to the body, throwing every punch with extreme vigor. Whitaker landing a right as he backs away. And now Rivera starts wants to try to back Whitaker up as he did in the closing stages of the first fight.
Let him go. Come on. Step back.
Rivera, in the first fight, Rivera started too late with the body punching. If he maintains a good body attack now, in the latter rounds, this fight can just unfold right into him. He's got to concentrate a bit more on Whitaker's body.
That night, however, Pernell's body looked soft and untrained. Tonight, he's a different-looking man in there.
Rivera was able to land a good right uppercut to the body twice in this round already. And let me tell you, that's setting the stages for a rough fight.
Stop. Break. There you go. Good break. Clean break. Thank you, guys. Stop. Stop. Break. Don't grab and push him down. Box.
Rivera's intensity, his awkwardness also apparent. That awkwardness gave Pernell Whitaker a lot of trouble in the first fight.
He just turned southpaw for the first time.
Stop pushing back. Break. Break.
Now Rivera is starting to throw punches behind the back a little bit.
All right, what about the southpaw stance, George? Already it helps him as he gets the right hand to the body and digs it hard.
He's doing the right fight, no doubt about it. He's starting to, but you can't back away from Pernell Whitaker.
And now he goes back to the conventional stance, and Pernell greets him with that left hand inside. And they trade body shots in what is as close to a brawl as you're ever going to see Pernell Whitaker involved in.
But Rivera's got those long arms. Even when you're out of reach, he's able to land a left hook to your body.
There you go. Don't hold him. Come on. Punch your way out. Let him go. Punch your way out. Stop. Stop.
Well, it was this kind of action that produced
right
the headbutt and the cut in the first fight, and referee Frank Santori is obviously anxious to avoid that as round 2 comes to a close.
Not the sort of fight anyone could have anticipated.
Look, this guy, everything this fucking guy has tried to do is stand not wood. You understand? Listen to me. This guy ain't that kind of puncher to come out and push punch with you. He's a fucking counter puncher. You understand? So look, all you got to do, he's walking right in on you. Use the jab, use the jab, use the jab. Then steal him with the left hand. You got to steal him with the left hand, okay? Now look, he's throwing straight punches at you. Move it.
Jab y open de derecha.
Use your right hand.
Jab y open de derecha.
Jab and open with your right hand.
Cuando te pegue con él, da un paso atrás.
When you on top of him, step back and then throw.
Open de derecha, gancho izquierdo.
Start with your right and then come back with your left hook. All of the combinations we practice.
I classified Rivera earlier as a puncher who is like a guy who knocks on a door hoping nobody is home. He's trying to break through the door here.
Bell sounds twice. Third round is momentarily called to a halt.
Time.
Apparently an inadvertent ringing of the bell, and now round 3 begins again. You talk about Rivera trying to knock on the door, Larry. He's banging away a lot at it. He threw 169 punches, according to Punchstat numbers, in the first 2 rounds. But Whitaker's continued to be the solider blows.
Whitaker's going to have to reestablish his right jab if he's going to really take control of this fight. He's in with a tough cookie, and this guy's not going to back off by being hit with one punch. Go back to your basic, your jab and your move.
Don't punch. You're way down there. Let him go. Box.
Rivera pushing Whitaker down. Obviously a slip. Whitaker's right hand glanced off the top of Rivera's head.
Now Rivera is starting to aim to Whitaker's body a bit more accurately now. Those body punches can change this whole thing if Rivera is able to concentrate more on the body.
Break.
Not a hard puncher, Rivera. Neither most the time as Whitaker, but Pernell's putting a lot into those lefts tonight.
The thing that's risky with Pernell Whitaker, he does not like to throw a lot of power, but he hasn't put in his tank enough power, enough energy. So when you see him throwing body punches, he's off target. Not what he want to do.
Back ahead, don't do it anymore.
Larry the Centauri warning again about holding behind the head. Larry, is there blood on Rivera?
There's blood, I think it's under Rivera's left eye. Doesn't look like it's in a dangerous place, but I haven't had a good look at it.
Might be from punches this time instead of from a butt.
Yeah, and a welt is starting there, but it doesn't look dangerous.
But it's the kind of thing that Pernell can target with the right jab.
Stop! No! Don't do that again. Come on, that's Bush. Box.
The referee is in for a fight tonight himself.
I'm just worried about that. Don't grab him. Don't grab him here. Box.
Low blow from Whitaker. Not sure Centauri was able to see it. Barroom brawl. 3 rounds of wild stuff so far between Pernell Whitaker and Wilfredo Rivera.
Stop. Break. Come on, step back. Step back. Box.
This is like two dancers getting into an alley fight.
This guy's starting to bust up, all right? Okay? No, we got a little nick right here. Now look, this guy's starting to bust up, right? All you gotta do is just keep using the jab. Just keep boxing, look. Now he's finding, all he's trying to hit you with was right hand, left hook. Drop down from the right hand, okay? Drop down from the right hand.
Estamos bien, sigue atacando.
Let's see if we can find out what caused that. Is a stiff right hand and the left behind it. Their heads narrowly missed, but there are marks under both eyes of Rivera.
Which is why Ronnie Shields was telling Whitaker, this guy is about to bust up. Interestingly, in the first fight, the heroic cut man was Jim Strickland, who stopped Rivera's bleeding and allowed him to stay in the fight. And that was in the 3rd round, just as is the case here, where the marks appear on Rivera's face in the 3rd round. But Jim Strickland's not here tonight. Tonight's cut man is a fellow named Dr. Ruben Diaz. Faced with the same challenge, can he do as well for Rivera as Jim Strickland did on April 12th?
Box.
The one thing with Whitaker, you don't want to give him that encouragement by seeing your face swollen up a little bit. You want to keep him cautious. Now he's throwing caution away. He's trying to compound that injury on Rivera's face.
Stepping to the right and firing straight lefts at Rivera's face.
And for boxers, it gives you a little more energy when you're able to work on a swollen or cut or something on your opponent's eye.
You like that target, huh?
Boxers do, especially because they're not looking for knockouts. They want this thing stopped. Or for your opponent to start covering up, protecting himself so you don't get hit.
Whitaker's jabs particularly stiff tonight. He's committing to the power punches like never before. In the first round, he was flying into those left crosses, doing everything possible to hurt Wilfredo Rivera. No question, Pernell Whitaker is looking for a spectacular performance in this fight.
He was pushed this time to the point where you've got to fight Pernell Whitaker or leave this division. And I think he took the challenge thus far, he has.
Punch out. Let it go.
Rivera lands a solid right out of that unusually wide stance. Awkward style for the Puerto Rican fighter, but there's no quit in him.
A good left hook to the body of Whitaker this time by Rivera. And Rivera is doing something strange. He's powering with his right hand to make it a jab almost. To get that proper distance.
Yeah, he's a little tentative with the right hand. But
he's paused with it.
Well, that's what I meant before when I said, George, that he really doesn't commit always with his punches.
Rivera switches to southpaw again, now goes back to the conventional stance. If I were in his corner, I'd like to see him stay in the southpaw stance for a while and see what he could do.
That's right. He should have been making Whitaker go into other stances. You don't want to let a champion think that he's got you crossed up so early.
Now he goes into the southpaw stance and stays there for a little while. In the first fight, that's what allowed him to land to the body. Now he switches back to the conventional stance, and when he does this, Whitaker targets him with the left hand.
Now Whitaker's right on target. As you watch, Whitaker's feet are planted solidly now. He moves and he lands flat-footed. That's when he's intending to land a hard punch.
You have to come in inside, fight inside. Breathe in and exhale through your mouth. You got to keep throwing first. You got to come out first. He's okay. He's okay. That's closing up. There's no blood. There's nothing. He's okay. Good job. Good job.
You can't miss him. Don't let this guy take the plate from you. Double it up.
It's very possible that a marked-up fighter can influence the judges. In a close round, one fighter's getting marked up, the other guy isn't. Fighter may choose to pick against the marked-up fighter.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it so far?
Tim, 39-37, 3 rounds to 1. Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. Jim, he's landing that left hand consistently. He just turns that right shoulder in, bangs Wilfredo Rivera, who's standing straight up with that hard left hand. Those are the telling shots. Those are the shots that are winning the rounds. The second round, Wilfredo Rivera really picked up the pace and stole it.
So you gave the second round to Rivera when he threw the 88 punches, but since that time, Whitaker reassumes control.
Absolutely.
I have the same score.
Good sharp left hand inside by Whitaker. And Rivera comes back with a flurry of punches. Rivera, for the moment, though, forgetting to go to the body, which is what serves him best. He tends to reach and paw when he tries to go upstairs against Whitaker. He throws the body punches with a lot more conviction, George.
No doubt about it, and his chances were greater in the latter rounds in the last fight. He should have concentrated more on body punches and steal this thing in the last 7 rounds. 6 or 7 rounds.
Whitaker starting to figure out that southpaw stance. That time, as Rivera switched southpaw, Whitaker just jammed the right straight into his face. Very exciting fight for the crowd as they trade punches at short range. Rivera now remembering to go to the body and doing it well.
Clean break, box.
I did not see a knockdown at all.
Now, there was a punch, but he was off balance. But I think a punch finished the off balance.
Now, I think it was a short right hand right on the top of the head. And as you guys say, Pernell was a little bit off balance, but nevertheless, it looked to me like a knockdown, not a slip. Referee Frank Santori saw it the same way, obviously. And so Rivera joins a handful of fighters ever to have knocked down Pernell Whitaker.
Stop! Break! There you go. Don't punch. Don't punch.
Pernell Whitaker had him going with his power punches, but as always, he gets conservative and get away from the power, and a fight can get away from him. You hurt a man, you got to finish him, otherwise leave him alone.
Keep up, both of you.
Rivera's punch is getting sharper. That was a good short left hand as Whitaker stepped in.
Box. Stop! Stop!
Good counter punch by Rivera.
Last time.
He was able to duck and come back in with a left-right combination to the body, which was the best punches tonight as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, but one more of those, George, and he's going to lose a point.
You all right? 1 minute? No, I'm cool. Okay. Time! Box.
So the warning to Rivera for low blows. And Santori saying that one more time will cost him a point. Hard left hand in close. Whitaker goes back to the body as Rivera holds on.
You stand in one spot with the guy, okay? I know. You're moving the wrong way. Go to your right. move this way with your jab, all right? Okay? Now look, all you got, look, this guy is fucking desperate now, you understand? This guy ain't this kind of fighter, Pete, you understand? This guy's gonna run out of gas. But look, just keep boxing, but look. Give me the jab. Open my eye.
No, it's out.
Give me the, watch out. Yeah. That's how we got one. Now look.
Was it a clean knockdown? Let's see.
No punch at all.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I agree.
Was not.
Well, there's a little right hand against Whitaker's glove, but it certainly didn't land on Whitaker's head.
Yeah, he got his feet crossed up together.
Turn with this guy. Turn with him.
Rivera did land some good body punch in that round. Those punches went right to the stomach.
And he gets credit for a knockdown that, as the replay shows you, probably should have been ruled a slip. Rivera got a 10-8 round from Harold Letterman because of the knockdown.
I scored it 10-9 because it was I don't think it was a clean knockdown, and I thought that Whitaker fought the rest of the round very well.
In the first 5 rounds of this fight tonight, by punch stat numbers, Rivera has thrown 116 more punches than in the first 5 rounds in San Martin. In other words, 23 more punches per round. He has taken to heart the notion that he needed to be more aggressive tonight. But in doing so, he's given Pernell Whitaker a lot of chances to land big power shots.
That's true. When you want to get out there and get started quick, you have to get caught with more punches also. He's being caught, but at the same time, he's putting on a good show.
Whitaker landed a short left hand inside there. Rivera trying to give back just as good as he takes, but he's taken a lot.
Step back. Let him go. Let him go. Box.
Another good combination to the body by Rivera.
He's starting to warm up, George, and those punches have more snap now than they did in the first couple of rounds.
They're like picture book, left-right combinations to the body. You just don't see those often.
Hard left hand by Whitaker, wobbles Rivera. Rivera goes back to the southpaw stance. Reaching again with the right hand. That time Pernell didn't fire the left. Another low blow, and that's going to cost Rivera a point if Santore lives up to his promise.
You okay? Stay here for a minute. Take a minute. Come here. Come here. Point. Point.
There's the point.
Point. Back here. Pernell. Back here. Keep him up.
Here's the low
Tell
blow.
me when you're ready.
That could be
Tell me when you're ready.
a costly low
Wait a
blow.
minute. Time. Box.
We'll see if that stalls Rivera's momentum. He was starting to do more damage in the fight than had been the case up to that point.
And if Whitaker wins the round, it becomes a 10-8 round for him.
Well, he's going to win the round.
And now it becomes a 10-7 round, possibly. 6, 7, 8.
That's a pretty legitimate knockdown right there.
That was a knockdown.
You got it, baby. A slip for Whitaker as he reaches, overreaches, trying to knock Rivera out.
Watch behind the head. Stop. Break. Break. Last time behind the head. Box.
Whatever happened to those Pernell Whitaker beat jobs we used to do?
Jim, it seems that Whitaker has reached that point that many great boxers do in their careers, where they have to start standing and fighting.
Look, this man cannot.
He surprised you with that punch. That was a surprise. Let's work.
Here's Whitaker. Solid right hand. as Rivera keeps coming at him. Rivera showing more aggression than he's probably shown in any fight before that time. There's that straight left hand again.
That's reminiscent of the punch with which Whitaker starched Juan Nazario back in the lightweight division in his quickest title fight knockout ever.
Give me the towel. Give me the towel. Stay here.
And the last round was a perfect example, George, of how you set up power with the jab. Pernell threw 32 jabs in that round and landed half of them. That's what made it so easy to score that left cross.
That's true. And you know, the good thing about Whitaker, he's like a pickpocket out there. You never know what he's up to. He's playing with you on one hand and at the same time got one trick up his sleeve. He hugs you and then takes your wallet.
Larry makes a good point. He is considerably more down on his flat feet than used to be the case.
He's always been on his feet in that fashion. He's just so fast with it. He's got to be the fastest fighter I've ever seen in my life, because not like Muhammad Ali was on the tip of toes, Whitaker moves like a cat flat-footed.
You're right, George, but I don't think I've ever seen him this aggressive from that stance.
Take a step back.
You got to be aggressive this time. He knows that the judges are not going to just let him win on points just by saying I'm Whitaker anymore. He's got to throw some hard power punching. Wow, good body punching by Rivera.
That's a whole lot of Wilfredo Rivera there. And that brings the Puerto Rican fans out of their seats. All over the arena.
That could be money in the bank for Rivera, those good body punches.
Whitaker goes back up top. And Rivera goes back to the body.
Brace, let him go. Come on, let him go. Take a step back. Box.
Whitaker landed a little punch below the belt that time himself.
A lot of punches with mean intentions from both fighters.
No, boxing sometimes is like music. There's a rhythm to what you have to do. Whitaker, he throws 1, 2, 3 punches, hold back for a second, and throw another. He always connects. Good rhythm.
You look at all this power punching from Sweet Pea, and you're reminded that the 3 potentially huge fights on the horizon for him in this welterweight division, Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Ike Corte, all of them heavy punchers.
This is a huge fight. Believe me, it's not over yet.
Well said, George. Because here comes Rivera again with sheer aggression.
Stop punching. Break. Take a step back. Box. Coming up.
Rivera digging the right hand of the body and then going after Whitaker up top. And he lands the right, but pushes it just a little bit.
Rivera comes back.
Now look, keep doing this. Keep circling him out to your right with the jab, okay? Now look, as soon as he get close now, he's starting to get brains going to the body. Now that's what we want. Keep the hands up high like you're doing. And go with the short uppercut, okay? Go with the short uppercuts in the inside, okay? Now look, the referee...
I'm gonna want it.
Give me the gloves. Stick to this guy. Stay inside with this guy. And throw those right hands.
Give me a good round now. Give me a good round.
All right, George, so you heard the instruction from Rivera's corner to stick with Whitaker and stay inside. What's good about that?
Well, you really can't stay inside of Pernell Whitaker. You got to do what you're going to do on the outside, because you got the Rivera has the punching range. He's got the longer reach. Take advantage of it. You stay out there with Whitaker, he's going to play all kind of tricks, but don't try to get inside unless you're going to do something.
Whitaker very accurate to begin this round and making every punch count. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 7?
Jim, 67, 63, 5 rounds to 2. Pernell, Sweet Pea, Whitaker. Let me talk to you about round 5. When you go down on the end of the punch, the referee will generally call it a knockdown. That's the rule of thumb. Wilfredo Rivera certainly landed a short right hand to the body. Whitaker went down, so Santori called it a knockdown. I called it 10-8. In round 6, I had a 10-7 because Rivera lost 1 for the knockdown and 1 for the low blow.
Watch your head. Break. Let him go. Let him go.
I have 4 rounds to 3, but I gave Whitaker a 10-7 round and Rivera a 10-9 round in the knockdown round.
Break. Don't punch. Don't punch. Come on, you just
Still
wrestle,
5
guys.
more rounds to be scored if in fact the bout goes the distance. Plenty of room for Rivera. Whitaker lands a hard left hand as they trade shots.
Come on.
Then the referee is allowing Rivera to throw those shots behind the back of Pernell Whitaker when they're in the clinch. You got to be careful because you can have a fight break out into another fight with that kind of stuff.
Break.
You got to stop that.
Let him go. Take a step back. Box. Let him go. Stop. Now, let him go. Let him go. Okay. Box.
Probably the first time Whitaker's faced someone who wants that title more than more than he wants it.
Don't elbow him. Use your elbow.
George, nobody wants the title more than Pernell Whitaker.
Okay, I take it.
Well, Rivera wants it a lot, though. I mean, George makes a pretty good point. The desire is apparent. Another thing that's apparent, this guy's always in shape. If you're going to fight Wilfredo Rivera, you better be ready to go 12 hard rounds because he does not wilt.
Take a step back.
That's the truth.
Box.
Back to the southpaw stance goes Rivera.
Break it up. Break it up.
Whitaker's firing
Stop.
hard shots
Break it
now,
up.
regardless of the stance in which Rivera sets himself up. I don't think I've ever seen Pernell punch harder through 8 full rounds.
But the down of that is that once he gets a good heavy shot in, he never tries to follow it up with another heavy shot.
Yeah, he's throwing fewer punches than is normally the case also. That's a good point. Because it's hard to punch hard in 3 and 4 punch combinations.
No, hey, listen to me. You cannot let this guy be first, all right? You beat the guy with just a fucking jab now. You're about to...
On the top line, total punches through round 8 tonight. On the bottom line, total punches through round 8, April 12 in San Martin. And you can see that Whitaker is up in both punches thrown and landed. And Rivera is way up in punches thrown, but just a little bit higher in punches landed. His connect percentage goes down. Whitaker doubling Rivera in the connect percentage, but he ain't winning the fight by a 2-to-1 margin. It's not that big a runaway. There are plenty of punches on both sides for the judges to evaluate here.
I've never seen Whitaker in this kind of feverish fight. Can he, at his age, sustain it for 4 more rounds?
In round 8, Whitaker slowed down the punch output, only through 43. That's reminiscent of the work he did down the stretch in San Martin when he simply wasn't busy enough to be Pernell.
Let him go. Let him go. Don't push off. Box.
Whitaker's corner told him he could win this thing with his jab. Now, once he throws his jab, he's got to move on to his right. He can't stay there and check out his damage.
Get your hand up, P.
And if he's going to win it with the jab, he's going to have to throw more than one at a time.
Whitaker have a tendency to jab and then move back to his left. And that's where the danger comes in. You got to jab and stay on your right. Keep moving on to the right.
Hard right hand over the top by Rivera.
Don't punch. Break. Let him go. Come on. Step back. Take a step back now. Box.
Now it was very smart. Whitaker threw a jab and then moved over, which is where extreme conditioning come in, because once you throw that jab, you got to jump over there on the other side of that man's left foot.
Well, if you're one of those who's complained in the past that the great Pernell Whitaker's fights just don't have enough action in them, this is your night. Short right hand landed for Rivera after he ate a hard left from Whitaker. A fight fought in short flurries, with each man making statements here and there. One knockdown per each. Crowd chanting, "Sweet pea, sweet pea."
Don't punch, break, let him go. Come on, let him go. Step back, box.
Whitaker has got to keep that right jab moving and stay on the right side on Rivera's left side. Rivera's got to make him throw that jab and push him back over to his right hand.
And now the opposing chant, "Rivera, Rivera." And Felix Trinidad standing at ringside, leading the chant for Rivera.
His countryman. Rather than for Whitaker, who would mean a huge payday for him.
Whitaker momentarily stunning Rivera with the left. Rivera switches stances again and waves to his Puerto Rican supporters in the crowd.
No, listen. Hey, you got to be busier with this guy with the jab. All right? You got to be. All you got to do now, what we've been working on. Out busying the guy now, right? Don't let this guy take the play away from you. You're boxing beautiful, okay? Now look, just keep the good jab working. Well, look, keep it like this guy, he's dustful now, you understand? You know he's behind. This fight is close. You got to see.
Whitaker hasn't thrown a lot of combinations in this fight, but here you see it. A straight jab followed with a delayed left behind it.
And there's a look at Felix Trinidad. Earlier, Larry conducted an interview with him. As Larry so accurately points out, a victory for Whitaker here would set up a nice financial payday down the road for Trinidad if he wanted to fight Pernell. But he's been rooting instead for his countryman, Wilfredo Rivera.
Now, when Rivera changes his stance, Whitaker's got to know to go on the opposite side.
He didn't always adjust well in San Martin. And there's the change in stance. Rivera turning southpaw for a moment. He stays in it. Let's see what Pernell does.
Right, don't punch, step back. Watch your hips, please. Box, don't push off.
Whitaker's got his rhythm going again. He jabs. Then he waits a minute, and then he throws left, right, left.
Whitaker landing the left inside there. In this fight, when Rivera goes to the southpaw stance, he simply shortens the distance for Pernell's jab and makes it easier for Whitaker to pump the jab into his face. Like that. And that.
Rivera has the advantage with the reach. I don't know why he's not exciting more jabs.
There you go. Come on, step back. Box. Stop, wait. Come on, whoa. Let him go. Come on. Don't punch over the top. Don't grab him.
Tough night for referee Frank Santori, as George said early on it would be.
He keeps saying box after he breaks him up. He ought to say fight.
Right, let's go. Work your way out.
He ought to say bang, brawl, hammer. That's what they're doing.
Punch out, punch your way out, let him go.
Good.
That's not too tight.
Must have been a right hand to the body by Pernell Whitaker.
Rivera still going to the body savagely midway through the 10th.
Things could happen good for him in the 12th round as it did in the first fight. So the body punches are still
Stop punching. You're tied up.
something he should
Don't
throw
hold him
some.
punch, repeat.
A lot of.
Box.
Now he allows Whitaker to get back into that rhythm, just like a jazz musician. No one knows what he's doing but the jazz musician. That's what Whitaker's doing. He has a rhythm going.
Whitaker loaded up a left and tried to put Rivera away with one
Come on, let
punch.
go. Come on, let go, guys.
This guy's just too tough. Keeps coming.
Stop now.
Give me the towel. Dry him out. Give me the towel. We're doing real good. You have to flatten the pressure. Keep putting pressure. You have to move your body. Keep moving around.
Round 11.
Right. No, we got 2 rounds left. Give me a deep breath.
2 rounds.
Let's go. Let's pick it up. Let's go. We got to have both rounds.
Let's go. You got to win these 2 rounds, Pete.
Boris Becker always said the 5th set is not about tennis. The last 2 rounds is not just about boxing, it's about will.
Break. Let him go. Come on. Don't wrestle for 2 rounds. Let's go. Box.
In the 5th round, a still fresh Pernell Whitaker threw 35 jabs.
Stop. Stop. Stop.
Harold through 10 rounds.
Larry, 96, 91, 7 rounds to 3. Pernell Whitaker. He still is sticking that right jab and coming across with that straight left hand, doing much more damage, really banging that left hand into Rivera's face. I think he's winning the fight.
I have it 7 rounds to 3 as well.
Oh, what an effort. What an effort by Rivera.
What we've got here, folks, is real Miami heat.
I think Whitaker decided to take a break and a little breather that time, and he had to pay dearly for it.
That's right.
Rivera has come to win this thing, and you can't play with him.
Rivera makes it clear in no uncertain terms that you don't take a vacation against him.
That's true.
3 minutes of every round.
Let him go. Box.
You may beat him, but you're not going to outwork him in there.
Stop punching. Come on, guys. You're just resting. Take a step
Whitaker has
back.
taken
Box.
very few steps backwards. He's met the
What a
challenge.
rocking right hand over the top by Whitaker. Santori pulls him off and says, stop holding him. Rivera shook his head as if to say, I'm not sure how many more of those I want.
Stop. Don't go to your head now. You're grabbing with your head. Stop. Calm down. Let's go. Let's fight. Stop fight. Box.
This is when a referee has to step up and take control over this thing.
How's he doing,
Stop.
George?
Stop. Don't grab him again. Celeste, don't grab
At
him
this
again.
point, he shouldn't step in that much. Just break them apart and let them finish this fight. They're both tired, and they're doing a lot of things they do not intend to do.
11th round of what has been a pitched battle from the beginning.
Stop. Break. Don't punch. Don't punch. Step back. Whoa. Step back. Box.
Whole lot of both fighters and a whole lot of referee Frank Santori.
Punch is up, Whitaker. Stop. Break. Come on. Don't punch in the back. Don't punch him in the back. Box.
A very different Pernell Whitaker tonight. He looks sharp when he steps away and
He
jabs like
moves
that.
that jab real good, then he steps back over to the left side.
He's not only changed his game, he's raised his game.
Definitely.
Now he's staying in the last round. Let's go toe-to-toe to the body then.
We got 1 round left, baby. This is the championship round. This is the one. Now listen to me. Listen to me. The fucking referee wants to take a point so fucking bad away from you. Keep your head. You understand?
This is the one. This is the one.
Last round.
This is the last one. This is the one, man.
Last round. Touch good. Good fight.
Okay?
That way.
I want you to jab your ass off with this guy this round. Let's go back. Go back to like when we fought Greg Huggy. Remember that? All right, let's go back. Jab, 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 left hand. Move that head.
The body. Keep hitting the body. You're okay, right? You're doing okay?
Make sure you keep the punches up.
Who would have thunk we'd have seen a roundhouse right like that from Pernell Whitaker?
The faces tell the story as we begin round 24 of what has become a two-fight extravaganza between Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker and the totally resolute Wilfredo Rivera.
Whitaker has always tried to finish his fights boxing and clowning in the last round, but this time he better not take a chance. You never have a fight in the bag until it's in the bag.
Your judgment after 23 rounds of this is that Rivera lacks the knockout punch to put Pernell Whitaker away in a situation like this. But whatever he's got, rest assured he'll give it to you in these next 2 minutes. Waving to the fans in the crowd, trying to make clear that he's ready for the last 2 minutes of his journey with Sweet Pea.
No. Come on, don't you wrestle with me. Let's go. Box.
You know, I believe that Rivera has actually fought better in this fight than in the first fight, Jim and George.
Stop.
So
I really do believe.
And so that's that much more credit to Whitaker, who appears to be winning the fight.
Another slip. Rivera pushing Whitaker down. Crowd responding, at least in part, as though they thought they saw a knockdown, but it wasn't. No, in fact, tonight, this fight, George, has been a tribute to both fighters.
No doubt about it. Each one can leave here thinking, I'm a champion. That Whitaker reminds me of the Tasmanian devil. You hit him and he just keeps hitting back. He's small, but he's mean.
Break it up, don't punch, let it go. Box.
And now begins the 72nd minute of contact this year. Contact and combat between these two proud warriors. And much to be proud of on both sides tonight.
Break! Don't punch. Box. Don't hold him and hit.
One of the roughest and most bruising fights of Pernell Whitaker's career.
Stop.
But most of the bruises on the face of Wilfredo Rivera. Whitaker appears headed for victory. Respect for Rivera grows even greater.
Anyone at home thinking 32 is old,
Break it up.
Whitaker is 32 years young.
A little showmanship for the fans, and Rivera answers it with a straight right hand to the teeth. And they're still fighting as the bell finally sounds. Before we hear the official scorecards, what did you have unofficially?
Jim, unofficially, I thought Pernell Whitaker won this fight decisively. 9 rounds to 3, 116, 109. I mean, I thought Pernell frustrated him the entire fight. It was almost as if Wilfredo Rivera never saw a southpaw before. Pernell kept coming forward. He never backed up as he did in St. Martin. He took the fight to Rivera, used that right jab, the straight left hand. I thought he won the fight decisively.
And the critical difference on Letterman's card from tonight to April 12 tonight. Whitaker winning the last 4 rounds of the bout, just the way Rivera did in San Martin.
And I had it 8 rounds to 4. I suspect the scoring will be probably closer than Harold and I have it.
An elevated performance by Whitaker, but George, I don't think you can say enough about the grit, the will, the desire of that young guy from Puerto Rico right there.
He is one tough cookie. He did everything he was supposed to do, but take charge of this fight. And it's not to be blamed. It's just to be a pat on the shoulder for Pernell Whitaker. He did it all. A little bit more.
A difference in skill, as most fighters face when they go into the ring against a great one like Sweet Pea.
What amazes me most about Pernell Whitaker, does a lot of that movement from flat-footed position. He's got to be quicker than anyone I've ever seen in the ring. Not on his toes. Ray Leonard would do a lot of things tiptoed.
But at an earlier stage of his career, he was able to stand in that position you're talking about and duck and slip punches with magical proficiency. No longer. He's getting hit a lot more now.
Well, as you get older, you get more confident in the power you got, too, so you don't have a tendency to run and move out of the way as much.
So you're willing
as
to
you
take
get older,
punches.
yeah, you decide, I'm not running from this kid. When you're younger, you say, I'm going to run because I am younger. When you get older, you say that this kid's not going to run me around.
Particularly when the guy is not exactly a knockout puncher, and Rivera isn't.
Well, he landed some good shots tonight. I mean, those were some good, heavy shots. He just was not able to put them together because of a dynamic Pernell Whitaker.
No, Bruce. No. Still pound for pound. Oh, my God. Okay. Still pound for pound. What? Woo! I don't give a shit about Kate. He's got it.
I think that's good payday.
Let me do it.
Payday.
We're going to see. We're going to talk this to the fighter.
Do what you want to do.
And now we have the decision, so let's go up to Michael Buffer.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. The scoring is as follows. Judge Uchida scores the bout 115 to 113. Judge Keene scores the bout 115 to 111. And Judge Cassis scores it 113 to 112 for the winner on all three judges' cards, and still WBC welterweight champion of the world, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker.
Well done. Good decision. Pernell again wins the unanimous decision in a rematch. He's had 3 matches in his career, and each one has produced a unanimous decision victory. 39th win of Whitaker's career, only the 2nd loss ever for Rivera. And Rivera's distinction is that both of his losses come against one of this era's greatest fighters, Sweet Pea Whitaker. Total punches in the bout. You can see that Rivera threw 281 more blows than Whitaker, but landed 65 fewer, as Whitaker nearly doubled Rivera's connect percentage. And look at the jab difference. Rivera throwing 353 of them, but barely, if ever, landing jabs, while Whitaker landed at nearly a 50% rate. That helped to set up the power shots, which were a part of the difference in the bout. Let's go to Larry Merchant.